Please pull up a chair. I want to talk about the sexual trafficking of black girls in the United States of America. I want to talk about the sexual trafficking of black girls. If you have a teenage daughter, make her sit down and listen to the Prince of Pan-Africanism right now. If you have a teenage daughter, make her sit down and listen to King Kong Consciousness right now. If you are the parent of a teenage daughter, the caregiver of a teenage daughter, the big brother or sister of a teenage daughter, the auntie or uncle or grandparent, foster parent or adoptive parent of a teenage black girl, I need you to pull up right now and listen. Stop shopping for Christmas gifts. We don't even have any institutions. Stop shopping for Christmas gifts. We don't even have any institutions. Stop shopping for Christmas gifts. We don't even have any institutions. We want to talk about the sexual trafficking of black girls right now. So number one, when we're talking about sex trafficking in black girls, we have to highlight poor supervision by black parents in the black community. Poor supervision by black parents in the black community. Poor supervision by black parents and the black community. You cannot allow your girls to do what they want. You cannot allow your girls to roam free. You cannot allow your girls to do what they want. You cannot allow your daughters to roam free, brothers and sisters. Poor supervision is the number one cause of black girl sex trafficking. Where is your daughter? Who is she hanging with? Who are her friends? Who is her boyfriend? How old is her boyfriend? Where does her boyfriend live? Where does she hang out when she is with her friends? These are things that every parent needs to know. And you know what hurts my heart about the sexual trafficking of black girls? You know what hurts my heart when we talk about the sexual trafficking of black girls? What hurts my heart is many of these girls were denied their father's participation in their lives by their mothers. I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say this again. Oh, yes, I just went there, sisters. Oh, yes, I just went there, sisters. Oh, yes, the Prince of Pan-Africanism just went there. I said a lot of these girls who are being sexually trafficked were denied participation of their fathers in their life by their mothers. Shame on you black mothers who don't even supervise your daughters, but you will keep the father out of their lives. Shame on you black mothers who don't even supervise your daughters, but you will keep their fathers out of their lives. I said shame on you black mothers who don't even supervise your daughters, but will keep the fathers out of their lives. Now, we know this is not most black women. We know most of our black mothers are honorable. Most of our black mothers are decent. Most of our black mothers supervise their daughters, but a lot of you do not. A lot of you do not. Another risk factor for our young African princesses to become slaves on the underground child sex market is when they are thirsty for attention and materialism. Thirsty for attention and materialism. And we can thank the gangster rappers for this. We can partly blame the gangster rappers for this. We can also blame our sexually provocative female singers and rappers for this. We can partly thank and hold accountable our sexually provocative black female artists, whether they be dancers, singers, or rappers. The sexual objectification of black girls is now being carried on by black men and women. I said the sexual objectification of underage black girls is being carried on by gangster rap and black women, blacks in the entertainment. Yes, our very own men are sexually objectifying our women. Our very own women are sexually objectifying our girls. You don't need to see me. I got 1 million videos on YouTube. What you need to see me for? You need to be listening to the message right now. I'm giving you afo ashe, word power right now. You don't need to see me. I'm giving you afo ashe. You want to see me? Come give me a Papa Bear hug this afternoon in Omaha, Nebraska at 4224 24th Street. You want to see King Kong consciousness, my beautiful African sister? You want to see King Kong consciousness, my beautiful African queen? You want to see King Kong consciousness, my beautiful African goddess? Come to 4224 24th Street in Omaha, Nebraska today. Come to 4224 24th Street in Omaha, Nebraska today at 3 o'clock. Come to 1615 18th Street in Kansas City, Missouri tomorrow. Come to 1615 18th Street in Kansas City, Missouri tomorrow. Doors open at 3 o'clock in Omaha today. Doors open at 3 o'clock in Kansas City tomorrow. Doors open at 3 o'clock in Omaha, Nebraska today. Doors open at 3 o'clock in Kansas City, Missouri tomorrow. When your daughters are thirsty for materialism, when your daughters will do anything to get a nice pair of earrings, when your daughters will do anything to get a nice pair of shoes, a nice pocketbook, get their hair done, their nails done, when you raise black kids to worship European materialism, when you raise black girls to worship European materialism, when you raise black girls to worship European materialism, when black girls grow up watching their mothers and fathers worship Nike, worship Mercedes-Benz, worship weave and wig, worship pocketbooks and clothes and belts and bags, when you worship your child to be a slave to European consumerism, when you raise your black girls to worship European consumerism, they become risk factors for the child sex market. Your daughter who's thirsty for things that you can't provide, your daughter who's thirsty for things that you can't provide, your little black girl, your beautiful African princess that was a gift from God, who you raised not to worship God, not to serve her community. You raised her to worship expensive European goods. So guess what? Since you can't buy it, she's going to find a boyfriend who can buy it for her. She's going to find her a boyfriend who can buy it for her. She's going to find her a boyfriend who can buy it for her. And check this out. What is the average age of a male sex trafficker in the United States of America and around the world? I hope my Canadian African parents are listening. I hope my South American African parents are listening. I hope my British Africans, my French Africans, my German African, my Irish African parents are listening. I hope you're listening. I hope my African parents in Africa, continental Africans who like giving your children up for adoption to white people, I hope you're listening to me right now. I really do hope you're listening to me right now. The average age of a sex trafficker, not the victim. I'm talking about the perpetrators. I'm talking about the perpetrators. The average age of a male sex trafficker is 28. 28. The average age of a female sex trafficker is 26. Let me repeat this again, because some of us think that the sex traffickers are old white men. Some of us think the sex traffickers are old black men. Not at all. The people who are kidnapping your daughter, manipulating your daughter, endearing themselves to your daughter, and later selling off your daughter, the men are 28 and the girls are 26. Who would think a 26-year-old black girl? Who would think a 26-year-old black girl was capable of doing the unthinkable? Who would ever think that a 26-year-old black woman was capable of kidnapping your 12-year-old girl? Who would have ever thought a 28-year-old black brother, a 28-year-old young black man was capable of kidnapping your daughter? But that's exactly who's doing it. That's exactly who's doing it. The male traffickers are 28. The female traffickers are 26. Social media. Social media. Let me drop a bomb for y'all one time. Let me drop a bomb for y'all one time. Social media. Let me drop a bomb for y'all one time. Let me think. Let RB Jesus drop this bomb one time. Let me drop this Garvey grenade one time. Social media was partly created to help the black child sex trafficking market recruit our children more efficiently. Boom. Let me say it again. Let me say it again, because I don't think y'all heard me. Social media was partly created to help the underground black child sex marketing ring recruit our children more effectively. Neanderthal, please get off my live. Neanderthal? Is that a bunny? Is that a bunny on my live? I'm talking. This is an African live. If you are not a Caribbean African, if you are not a continental African, if you are not a South American African, if you are not a Central American African, if you are not a Canadian African, if you are not an Australian African, if you are not an England African, a Paris African, an Austrian African, if you are not a South Pacific African, an African in Asia, if you're not a Ghanaian African, a Nigerian African, a Basotho African, a Congolese African, an Eritrean African, a Sudanese African, please get off my damn live. This is a private African family conversation right now. So let's get back. Social media. I'm trying to understand why black parents do not monitor their teenage daughters' social media accounts. Your teenage daughter is thirsty, and you know this. Your teenage daughter is thirsty, and you know this. Are you monitoring her social media? Are you monitoring her social media? That's right, baby. It's organize or die. It's organize or die. Y'all know we didn't come from Africa. Let me get this pretendian off my live. Let me get this pretendian off my live. Let me get this pretendian off my live. Let me say this. Let me say this. Pretendians, pretendians, pretendians. You have a right to be a fake Native American. You have a right. You have a right to claim you didn't come from Africa. You have a right. But you don't have a right to come on my live with your fake, pseudo, self-hating bullshit and disrupt what I'm doing over here. Pretendians, where is the pretendian state? Where is the pretendian reservation? Where is the pretendian land? What exactly are you pretendians doing? If you're going to be a real pretendian, can you go get some reservation so black people can start growing their own food? Can you go get a casino so we can start making some money and building some schools and some banks? What is the good of being a fake Indian? What is the purpose of being a fake Indian if there's nothing in it for black people? What is the purpose of being a fake ass Indian if there's nothing in it for black people? Will you please stay your pretendian pseudo ass off my live? We talking about the sexual trafficking of black girls. We talking about the sexual trafficking of black girls. We talking about the sexual trafficking of black girls. I'm live in Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm feeling good today. I can't wait to get the 4224 24th Street today. I can't wait to get the 4224 24th Street in Omaha, Nebraska today. Social media. You must supervise your daughter's social media. You must do this. Your daughter is on TikTok. You never saw her inbox. Your daughter is on Snapchat. You never saw her inbox. Your daughter is on Instagram. You never saw her inbox. Your daughter is on Facebook, Twitter. She talking to all kinds of men disguising themselves as boys. She's talking to all kinds of men disguising themselves as boys. She's talking to grown-ass 40 and 50-year-old sexual traffickers who are telling her they're only 15 and 16, and then they want to set your daughter up for a blind date. And then they want to set your daughter up for a blind date. And then they want to set your daughter up for a blind date. Why you didn't know about this? Why you didn't know about this? They snatching our daughters into sexual slavery because black parents are not monitoring social media. You should have your child's password to all social media accounts. If you can't have her password, she can't have the account. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. I don't care if she pays her own cell phone bill. Does she pay the mortgage? I don't care if she pays her own cell phone bill. Does she buy the groceries? I don't care if she pays her own cell phone bill. Is she paying her college tuition? I don't care if she pays her own cell phone bill. Is she paying the gas, the electric, the water? I don't care if she pays her own cell phone bill. If she is in your house, you will have her social media password or she won't have one. I said, if your daughter is living in your house, you will have her password to every social media account or she cannot have a social media account. If you understand, overstand, and understand Dr.UMAR this morning from Omaha, give me a heart, ladies, and give me a fist, brothers. If you understand, overstand, and understand what Dr. Ifatunde is saying today, give me a heart, sisters, and give me a fist, brothers. Give me some fire. Give me some hearts. Give me some fists. If you with me this morning from Omaha, Nebraska, I'm standing in solidarity with Black Nebraska today. I'm standing in solidarity with Black Nebraska today. I'm standing in solidarity. What you mean your daughter on social media and you don't have her password? You must be out of your mind. You must be out of your mind, which takes me to the next risk factor for sex trafficking. The next risk factor for sex trafficking, too much free time. Lord have mercy. Your daughter has nothing to do during Christmas break. She has nothing to do during spring break. She has nothing to do during summer break. That's not a good thing. An idle mind is a pedophile's workshop. An idle black girl's mind is a pedophile's workshop. An idle black girl's mind is a pedophile's workshop. An idle black girl's mind is a pedophile's workshop. Your daughter better be in cheerleading. She better be in chess. She better be learning an African language. She better be a part of the yearbook committee, the student newspaper, an after school job, volunteering at the conscious community, volunteering at the hospital, volunteering at the church. But we don't do idle time in the age of black girl sex trafficking. We don't do idle time in the age of black girl sex trafficking. We don't do idle time in the age of black girl sex trafficking. That's a risk factor. You know what else is a risk factor? You never met your daughter's boyfriend. You don't know his name. You don't have his phone number and you don't know his address. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. You don't know your daughter's boyfriend. Don't know his name. Don't know his phone number. Don't have his address. And on top of all that, she's spending nights over there. She's spending nights over there. She's spending nights. They're going away for the weekend and you don't even know. Listen to me. Listen to me. If you raising a black girl, you better have a picture of her boyfriend's driver's license. That way we know the age, we know the address. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I just told you. The average age of a sex trafficker is 28. For the men, 26 for the girls. 28 for the men, 26 for the girls. You know black don't crack and we don't look our ages. You know black don't crack and we don't look our ages. You know black don't crack and we don't look our age. So if a sex trafficker is 28 years old, he can easily tell your daughter he's 21. He could 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 easily tell your daughter he's 18 or 19. He could easily tell your daughter he's 18 or 19. Get a photo of his license. If you can't have his license, if you can't have his high school ID, because he might tell you he's only 17, 18, he don't have a license. He might tell you he's 17, 18, still in high school. He don't have a license. I need your student ID. Where is your student ID at We Hate Black Children High School in Omaha, Nebraska? Where's your student ID for We Hate Black Children High School in Dallas, Texas? Where's your student ID from We Hate Black Children of Brooklyn Public High School? Where's your student ID from We Hate Black Children Los Angeles, California High School? If he don't have a driver's license, you want a picture of his student high school ID so you can call the high school and confirm that he is still a student there. So you can call the high school and confirm that he's still a student there. So you can call the high school and confirm that he's still a student there. Now, here's where it gets tricky at. Here's where it gets tricky at. In America, 16 is the age of sexual majority. In America, 16 is the age of sexual majority. In America, 16 is the age of sexual majority. If you raising a 16-year-old black girl, Lord have mercy, we got some problems if she's thirsty. If you are raising a 16 years or older black girl and she is thirsty, we got some problems. Since she is 16, no one can be arrested for statutory rape. Because she is 16, no one can be arrested for statutory rape. You didn't know that, my beautiful African sister? You mean to tell me all you single mothers out there didn't know that 16 was the age of sexual majority in America? You mean to tell me all my single black mothers had no idea that 16 is the age of sexual majority in America? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. 16 years old, she can get her freak on with anybody she want and nobody goes to jail. You think that's bad? You think that's bad? In most countries, the age of sexual majority is 14. In most countries, the age of sexual majority is 14. In most countries, the age of sexual majority is 14 years old. In America, it's 16 years old. So if your 16-year-old girl is dating a 30-year-old man, there's nothing you can do about it. Except whip her ass and whip his ass. There's nothing you can do about it. Except whip her ass and whip his ass. There's nothing you can do about it. Except whip his ass and whip her ass. And y'all think that's bad? Wait till the pedophiles get finished fighting for a reduction in age of sexual consent in America. It's coming. I promise you. I absolutely promise you that the age of sexual majority in America will be dropped from 16 to 13 or 14. I promise you. I'm going to repeat it again. I have never been wrong in my prophecies. The prophecies of Ifa Tunde have never been incorrect. No, you cannot. You do not get charged. No, you don't. 16 is the age of sexual majority in the United States. Nobody's getting charged at 16 for statutory rape. Now, some states may have a stricter provision. I'm not aware of any state that locks anybody up for sex with a 16-year-old. I'm not aware of that anywhere in the United States of America. I'm not aware of that anywhere in the United States of America. 16. Now, the pedophiles are fighting for the age of consent to be reduced to 13 and 14. Did y'all hear that? The pedophiles are fighting for the age of consent to be reduced to 13 and 14. Okay. Let me tell you why the pedophiles want to reduce the age of consent. You know why the pedophiles want to reduce the age of consent? So when they get caught molesting and trafficking your child, they can say it was consensual. The reason the pedophiles want to reduce the age of consent, sexual consent, to 12 and 13 and 14 is so if they get caught molesting your child or trafficking your child, they can say the child consented. They will say the child consented. They will say the child consented. Remember, 85% of all online sex trafficking, child and adult, is done by white males. Let me say it again. If you want to know why nobody's stopping sexual trafficking of black girls, if you want to know why no one is stopping the sexual trafficking of black girls, if you want to know why no one is stopping the sexual trafficking of black girls, 85% of sex traffic customers, 85% of online sex traffic customers are white males. Nobody's going to fight for black girls when they're being abducted, molested, raped, and sold by privileged white males. No one's going to fight for black girls when they're being sold, trafficked, molested, and raped by privileged white males. 85% of online sex trafficking is done by white males. This is why nobody's doing anything about what's happening to our daughters. This is why I have a problem with YouTube and struggle streamers who attack and desecrate and disrespect black women. We can't afford to tell the world we don't care about our women. We cannot afford to tell the world that we don't care about our women. We cannot afford to tell the world that we don't care about our women. What kind of a black man gets on the internet and tells the world he doesn't care about his women? Holiday season is coming up. Holiday season is one of the highest times for sex trafficking. You know why? Why are the holiday seasons one of the highest periods of sexual trafficking in the world, especially in America? Why is the holiday season one of the highest times for sexual trafficking? You know why? Parents are too busy shopping for gifts in crowded malls and shopping centers. Parents are too busy shopping for gifts in crowded malls and shopping centers. Children are on Christmas vacation. The pedophiles know they're out of school. The pedophiles know they're out of school. The pedophiles know it's Christmas break. They're out of school. Their parents are out shopping. The children are home unsupervised. And if the parents take the children with them, if the parents take the children shopping, it only takes 1 second for you to take your eyes off your child. It only takes 1 second for you to take your eyes off your child at the mall. The malls are crowded and they are filled with sex traffickers. The malls are crowded and they are filled with child sex traffickers. The malls are crowded and they are filled with child sex traffickers. You cannot afford to let your child's hand go. You better get you one of those doggy bands. I'm not referring to our children as animals. Understand me. Never that. We are gods and goddesses. I'm not referring to our children as animals. Never that. But I'm talking about the doggy bands where, you know how with the dogs, they'll have one part around the dog and one part around the dog owner's wrist. You need that wrist connect. You out there with your little kids, 3, 4, and 5, they sell them too. 3, 4, and 5, they sell them too for satanic rituals. In secret society rituals. Your 5, 6, and 7-year-old boys and girls, they sell them too for satanic rituals. In secret society rituals. You better have something on your physical body that attaches to that child. And you better make sure your child is no more than 2 feet away from you. Shopping malls are a pedophile's gallery. Shopping malls are a pedophile's gallery. So when you out there doing your Christmas shopping, I would say leave the kids at home. I'm going to be honest with you. I would leave the kids at home. I would leave them at home because it's too much of a risk. The only thing the pedophile wants under his Christmas tree is your child butt-ass naked. The only thing a pedophile wants under their Christmas tree is your child butt-ass naked. The only thing a pedophile wants under their Christmas tree is your child butt-ass naked. Oh, yes. I hope y'all understand, overstand, and understand me. I hope we understand, overstand, and understand me. And this is why. Now, this is why black women need to form sisterhood circles. This is why black women need to form sisterhood circles. This is why black women need to form sisterhood circles. So when y'all go holiday shopping, sister number 1, go shopping on Monday. Y'all take care of the kids. Sister number 2 and 3, they're going to do their holiday shopping on Tuesday. The other sister's going to take care of the kids. Sisters number 4 and 5 gonna do their holiday shopping on Saturday, and the other sisters will take care of the kids. Because we don't have fathers in the house, black mothers have to work together. Because we don't have fathers in the house, single black mothers have to work together. Because we don't have fathers in the house, too many of them are out bunny hopping. They shopping for bunnies. They bunny hop shopping. They bunny hopping and shopping. The black sisters have to work together. The black sisters have to work together. We got to form sisterhood circles so black women can look out for each other and look out for each other's children. Okay? I'm going to tell you something else. Leaving your child at home is dangerous because they break into your house and steal your children. Leaving your children at home alone is also dangerous. They break into your house and steal your children. I know you got the Ring camera. I know you got the Ring camera so you can watch them steal your children. I understand. You got the Ring camera so you can watch them steal your children. I understand. You got the Ring camera on your phone. And I'm glad you got the Ring camera because that is a security thing. But the Ring camera doesn't stop a kidnap. It only lets you know a kidnapping is going down. Your Ring camera doesn't stop a kidnapping. It only lets you know the kidnapping is going down. The Ring camera doesn't stop a kidnapping. It only lets you know that a kidnapping is going down. Stop leaving young children at home alone. Do you have a neighbor that you can trust who's not a pedophile to watch your children? Can you pay for aftercare at the school so they can watch your children? Young children at home in the age of black child sex trafficking, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. Oh, you live in a white neighborhood? You think you're safe? 85% of sex traffickers are white males online. It's a white male's market. You live in a white neighborhood, you think you're safe leaving your black kids at home? I pray you wake up before it's too late. I pray you wake up before it's too late. This is your big brother King Kong Consciousness, RB Jesus, the notorious RBG, live in Omaha, Nebraska. Tonight's event, doors open at 3 o'clock. DR.UMAR takes the stage at 4 o'clock. It's going down at 4224 24th Street in Omaha, Nebraska. Today, Saturday, December the 2nd. There will be a Black Parent Advocate book signing after the lecture. There will be a Black Parent Advocate book signing after the lecture. There will be a Black Parent Advocate book signing after the lecture. $50. The books are $50. Zelle, Apple Pay, Venmo, PayPal. Zelle, Apple Pay, Venmo, or PayPal. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Tomorrow, Kansas City. Tomorrow, Kansas City, Kansas, at the GEM Theater, 1615 18th Street. Tomorrow in Kansas City at the GEM Theater, 1615 18th Street. If you need to reach me for consultations, podcast scheduling, lecture scheduling, 215-989-9858. Text me, don't call me, I don't answer your phone. If you need to reach me for podcast interview scheduling, lecture scheduling, consultation about your child's special education or mental health situation, 215-989-9858. If you need to reach me for consultation, podcast interview, lecture scheduling, I am the most requested black scholar on the planet Earth, 215-989-9858. Let's continue. We're focusing on this child sex trafficking of our girls. Another thing, the child sex traffickers recruit children to help them abduct other children. I'm going to say this again. The child sex traffickers recruit children to help them abduct other children. Do you know your children's friends? Do you know your children's friends? Who are the girls your daughter is hanging with? Who are the boys your daughter is hanging with? How do you know your daughter's best friend isn't a pedophile or a child sex trafficker? How do you know your daughter's friends' parents aren't pedophiles or child sex traffickers? Have you met all your friends' parents? Have you met all of your daughter's friends' parents? Have you met all of your daughter's friends' parents. If you ain't been to the house and made an introduction, you don't care about your daughter. If you haven't been to the home of your daughter's friends to meet their parents, you don't care about your daughter. You don't care about your child. You don't care about your child. You don't have a social media passwords. You don't care about your child. You don't care about your child. You never met her boyfriend. You don't have a picture of his driver's license or high school ID. You don't know his address. You never met his parents. You don't care about your child. How he goes about things as a black community leader. Let me block this coon. He got away from me. Hold on, right here. Right here. Now, they get to your daughter through materialism and drugs. They get to your daughter through materialism and drugs. They get to your daughter through materialism and drugs. They get to your daughter through materialism and drugs. They get to your daughter through materialism and drugs. It starts off with the marijuana. It starts off with the marijuana. It starts off with the marijuana. Your daughter likes to smoke weed. Your daughter is 16 and she's a weed head. The young boy up the street is a child sex trafficker assistant. The young boy up the street is a child sex trafficker assistant. Your daughter likes to smoke marijuana, and the young boy up the street is the assistant to a child sex trafficker. So they start having weed sessions. The weed sessions turn into a sex session. The alcohol will come. The Percocets will come. The opioids will come. And now she has an addiction. And he's the only person she knows who she trusts, who can satisfy her addiction. He lets his boss, the child sex trafficker, know, I think we got her. She's strung out on dope. So he invites her to a party. She gets gang raped at the party. Gang raped at the party. And then she's loaded onto a truck, blindfolded. She's sent somewhere she's never been with a whole bunch of other girls in the back of the truck. And you may never hear from her again for the rest of her life. And it all started with what? It all started with you not knowing who she was freaking on and smoking with. It all started with the black parent not knowing who she was freaking on and smoking with. It all started with the black parent who didn't know who your daughter was freaking on and smoking with. Late night travel for black girls by themselves, that's over. Your daughter got a job and she don't get off until 9 o'clock. Guess what? Somebody's picking her up. She cannot afford to take public transportation home in Chicago. She cannot afford to take public transportation home in Omaha, Nebraska. She cannot afford to take public transportation home in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She cannot afford to take public transportation home in Los Angeles, California, which is the #1 child sex trafficking market in the United States. Black women, you can't afford to go home on public transportation. They snag. Black adult women are 40% of the adult sex trafficking market. Adult black women are 40%. Black women, you are 40% of the adult sex trafficking market. I hope all my sisters are licensed to carry. You get you that gun, sister. You get one for your boot, one for your pocketbook, one for the car, one in your waistline. Put one in your thong, so if somebody try to date rape you, you could pop his ass right in the nuts. Put one in your thong, in the back of your thong, so when he tries to date rape you, you could pop him right in the nuts. Stun gun. Stun gun his ass. Sisters, you got to be strapped up with the weapons. You need to have you a bat belt, like Batman had the bat belt with all the weapons in the bat belt. Black women need a bat belt. Just make sure you get rid of all the weapons when it's time to make love, sister. When it's time to make love to King Kong consciousness, I need you to put all the weapons down. I don't want to get shot and I don't want to get stung. I just want the honey bun. I don't want to get shot. I don't want to get stung. I just want the honey bun. When it's time to make love, sisters, when it's time for voluntary love making, make sure you put the switchblades down. Make sure you took all the switchblades and the knives and the stun guns. Sister, don't hurt me now. I don't want the stun gun. I came for the honey bun. I just want the honey bun. I just want the honey bun, okay? Don't sting me, sisters. Don't sting me, sisters. I just want the honey bun, all right? Now, you should have a tracker on your daughter's cell phone. You should have a tracker on your daughter's cell phone. Do you have a tracker on all your children's phones? You should have a tracker on all your children's phones. Ain't nothing like a soft, my goodness, you ever be out cold outside and you go to the store and you get you that soft brown honey bun? Woo! They warmed it up for you real nice. A nice brown soft honey bun with the icing dripping. Lord have mercy, ain't nothing like a warm, nice, moist, shiny, honey bun. Lord have mercy. I'm about to go get me a honey bun. Omaha, Nebraska. We got any black-owned stores that sell honey buns? Omaha, Nebraska. You got where they sell the honey bun? I need to get me a honey bun. I need to get me a honey bun. Dairy Queen. What's the Krispy Kreme honey bun? I need a Krispy Kreme honey bun and a Dunkin' Donuts honey bun. I'm in the mood for a nice, soft brown, warm, with a little bit of icing dripping. That honey bun is ready to be devoured. I need a honey bun. I've never been married, Griffin Bernice. You don't know me too well, I guess. I've never been married, Griffin Bernice. I said a honey bun. I'm not talking about your honey buns. Get your mind out the gutter, sisters. I'm talking about the honey bun from Krispy Kreme and the honey bun from Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know why you operating in the lower chakra. I'm not in that chakra. You dealing in root chakra. I'm not dealing in root chakra. I'm in my third eye chakra, right? I'm in my third. I'm talking about the honey bun from the store. You talking about the honey bun between your thighs. Cut it out, sisters. Cut it out, sisters. I'm talking about a warm, hot, moist, shiny honey bun. That's what I'm talking about. A juicy, brown, moist honey bun from Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kreme. I don't know what you're talking about. We back again for part 2. This is DR.UMAR coming to you live and direct from Omaha, Nebraska. From Omaha, Nebraska, we talking about child sex trafficking, saving our black girls. Anybody want some nuts? Anybody want some nuts? African queens, anybody want some nuts? Ladies, if you want some nuts, let me know. Queen Jillian, you want some pecans, baby? Queen Jillian, you want some pecans? Somebody just said, do only black girls matter? Somebody just said, do only black girls matter? That was a very disingenuous comment. I don't want to see nobody trafficked. I don't want to see a white girl trafficked. I don't want to see a yellow girl trafficked. I don't want to see a red girl trafficked. I don't want to see a brown girl trafficked. But my priority, my focus, and my allegiance is 100% to my black daughters. It is our daughters who are the most vulnerable. It is our daughters who are the most unprotected. Don't you get on here with your multicultural diversion tactics. Don't you get on here with your multicultural diversionary trap. All girls matter. I'm going to block you. I'm going to block you. We're not talking about all girls. We're talking about black girls matter. We're not talking about all girls right now. We're talking about black girls matter. We're not talking about all girls. I don't want to see no girl get trafficked, but I'm focused on our daughters. Ain't nobody looking out for our girls. Ain't nobody searching for our girls. Don't nobody care about our girls. And you want to get on here and talk about all girls matter? Well, get your all girls matter ass off my page. Get your all girls matter ass off my page. All girls matter is a distraction and a deflection away from making sure black girls get the right amount of attention that is due to them. When you say all girls matter, you are distracting away from the necessary attention that our daughters are entitled to. When you sell out Negroes, get on here and say all girls matter. When you sell out Negroes, get on here and say all girls matter. You know what you're doing? You're distracting away from the necessary attention that our daughters need. Shame on you, bunny hoppers. Shame on you, multiculturalists. Shame on you, integrationists. Shame on you, amalgamationists. Ain't no all girls matter. I'm talking about black girls matter. Much respect to all the other girls. I want them to be protected too. But they got people fighting for them. They got people looking out for them. Joe Biden passing laws for them. Police are out researching and investigating them. Nobody's looking out for us. Don't you come on here and distract away from us trying to protect our girls when black girls are disproportionately sexually trafficked and black women are disproportionately sexually trafficked. Black girls and black women are more sexually trafficked than any other race in this country. Black girls and black women are more sexually trafficked than any other woman in this country. And you're going to jump on my damn feed talking about some all girls matter. That's why we need to buy some land and build a 25-acre steel cage to put all the Negro pens in. We need to buy some land and build a 25-acre steel cage and lock all the Negro pens up in the steel cage. Let's continue, brothers and sisters. Put a trafficker device on your child's phone. Make sure you have iPhone trafficking, Android trafficking. You must know where your sons and daughters at all the time. Okay, the government is complicit in this. The child sex traffickers have informants inside the police department. The child sex traffickers have informants inside the police department. The child sex traffickers have informants inside the police department. The child sex traffickers have informants inside the police department. The child sex traffickers have informants inside the police department. The police are the lookouts. The police are the lookouts. A police officer just got busted the other day. Police officer just got busted the other day. They are working with the police and the police are working with them. Remember, the number one sex traffickers are billionaire white males. The number one sex traffickers are billionaire white males. The number one sex traffickers are billionaire white males, brothers and sisters. They pay everybody off. Child sex trafficking is worse since COVID because people need money. Child sex trafficking is worse since COVID because people need money. Child sex trafficking is worse since COVID because people need money. And they say selling children is more lucrative than selling drugs. 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 They say you can make $200,000 a year pimping one underage black girl. You can make $200,000 a year pimping one underage black girl. You can make $200,000 a year pimping one underage black girl. Did y'all hear what I said? Drug dealing is no longer the number one business. It's selling underage black girls. Drug dealing is no longer the number one hood business. It's selling underage black girls. When are we going to wake up? The courts are involved. The police are involved. The foster homes are involved. The adoptive homes are involved. The juvenile detention centers are involved. The halfway houses are involved. The rehab centers are involved. The black church and the white church are involved. Homeless children, homeless black girls. We have to do something about homeless black children and homeless black girls. Black boys are being abused by the rainbow pedophile community. Black boys are being raped by men. Homeless black boys are being raped by men. Homeless black boys are being raped by men, and homeless black girls are being raped by everybody. Homeless black boys are being raped by men, and homeless black girls are being raped by everybody. Homeless black boys are being raped by men, and homeless black girls are being raped by everybody. Okay? Once that little girl, and then this is how they get them, y'all. They start with the drugs, they start with the weed, they start with the pills. And then the domestic violence is how they trap them. They trap your daughter with the domestic violence. They trap your daughter with the domestic violence. They trap your daughter with the domestic violence. They say, if you tell your parents, I will kill your whole family. If you tell your parents, I will unalive your whole family. If you tell your parents, I will unalive your whole family. If you tell anybody what I'm doing to you, if you tell anybody what I'm doing to you, you will disappear and you will never come back. They control our daughters through fear once they get them into the sex trafficking cartel. They control them with fear and terror. They terrorize those girls. You got to remember, once a girl is raped, once she has been violated with a rape, she is traumatized. And then they follow that up with the threat to unalive herself or her parents. She's never going to tell nobody after she's been raped and threatened to be unalived or have her parents unalived. And you got black men out here on the internet talking about they don't care about black women. You got black men out here on the internet talking about they don't want a woman with no children. So you don't care to protect our black daughters. You don't want a woman with no children, so you don't care to protect our black daughters. You don't want a woman with no children, so you don't care to protect our black daughters. You don't want a woman with no children, so you don't care to protect our black daughters. How selfish has the black man become? How selfish has the black man become? How selfish has the black man become? Black girl runaways are 2/3 of sex trafficking victims. Black girl runaways are 2/3 of sex trafficking victims. Black girl runaways are 2/3 of sex trafficking victims. Black girl runaways are 2/3 of sex trafficking victims. Do you know what that means? What does that mean? That 2/3 of all sexually trafficked black girls were runaways. You know what that means? Your poor relationship with your daughter may cost her her life. Your poor relationship with your daughter. That means the dysfunctional black home and the dysfunctional black community is a breeding ground for victims of the sex trafficking market. I'm going to say it again. Dysfunctional black homes and dysfunctional black community. The dysfunctional black home and the dysfunctional black community is a breeding ground for victims of the underground child sex market. Black women, you keep emotionally abusing your daughter. She runs away from home and runs right into the arms of a child sex trafficker. You heard me, black mothers? You better improve your relationship with your daughter. Did you hear me, black mother? You better improve your relationship with your daughter. Your emotional abuse of your daughter is going to trigger a runaway. And when she runs away, she's going to run right into the arms of a child sex trafficker. Now, to clarify, a pedophile is only interested in his own personal pleasure with children. A pedophile is only interested in his own personal pleasure with children. A child sex trafficker is a pedophile, but he's interested in selling and profiting from the sexual exploitation of underage children. So the pedophile is just a personal sicko. The sex trafficker is in the business. He's in the business of making money off of the sexual exploitation of black girls. Okay? They're both pedophiles, but one is looking for personal pleasure and the other one is looking for money and personal pleasure. 2/3 of victims are runaways. The public schools are grooming our children. I'm going to say it again. The public schools are grooming our children. The whole rainbow agenda in public school is a cover for the sexual grooming of young black children. And y'all say Barack Obama was a hero. 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 Barack Obama introduced grooming of our young children in the public schools by way of the Rainbow Gang agenda. That agenda is nothing more than a cover for the sexual grooming of black kids in public school. I'm going to say it again. Y'all said Barack Obama is a hero, but Barack Obama introduced sexual grooming into the public schools under the disguise of rainbow rights. Barack Obama introduced sexual grooming into the public schools under the masquerade, under the disguise of rainbow rights in education. Rainbow rights in education. Teaching children about any kind of sex is a form of grooming. If you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. Introducing any type of sexual education to prepubescent children in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, that is a form of grooming. They're grooming our children and y'all can't even see it. They're grooming our children and y'all can't even see it. Public schools are grooming our children under the disguise of rainbow protections and y'all can't even see it. I'm going to get ready to wrap this up. The number one age of child sex trafficking victims. The number one age of child sex trafficking victims is 13 and 14, or 6th through 9th grade. 13 and 14, or 6th through 9th grade. They don't even want the high schoolers. They don't even want that. They want those middle school girls. They want them elementary school girls. They want the virgins. They want the virgins. They want the virgins. And guess what the child sex trafficker said in an interview? The child sex trafficker said that they prefer black victims, black girls and black women. So if they are caught, they will get a lesser prison sentence. Did y'all hear what I just said? I'm going to say it again. Racism within the child sex trafficking market. Racism within the child sex trafficking market. The child sex trafficker says they prefer black victims, black girls and black women because they are less likely to be sentenced to a longer prison sentence if the victims are black. Y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me though. They want black girls because they won't go to jail if they get caught. They're not sending white men to jail for the sexual abuse of black girls. They're not sending white men to jail for the sexual abuse of black girls. And guess where they hang out at? The black community. But a white man hanging out in the black community looks suspicious. A white man hanging out in the black community looks suspicious. A white man hanging out in the black community looks suspicious. So he hires black men and black women to help him kidnap black girls. The white man hires black men and black women in the black community to help him kidnap black girls. 45% of all sex trafficking victims knew their trafficker. 45% of all victims knew their trafficker. I'm going to say it again. A lot of these traffickers are not strangers. Your daughter knows these people. Your daughter knows these people. They her friend, they her big brother's friends and her uncle's homies and her daddy's friends. 45% of victims knew their traffickers. And then we got to talk about foster care. The foster care system is a breeding ground for child sex trafficking of black girls. According to the FBI, 60% of black girls in the juvenile justice system will prostitute their bodies at some point in their life. According to the FBI. According to the FBI. According to the FBI, 60% of black girls in the juvenile justice system, that can include foster care, juvenile detention center, 60% of black girls caught up in the juvenile justice system or the child protective services system, 60% of them will prostitute their bodies at some point in their life. Now, let me explain how they become prostitutes. Y'all ready for this? Can somebody tell me, once children become 16 to 18, they are automatically discharged from the foster care system and turned onto the streets as homeless people? Is this being done intentionally? Somebody get President Joe Biden on the phone. Can somebody please get President Joe Biden on the phone? I want to ask him about his Department of Health and Human Services. Can somebody please get Vice President Kamala Harris on the phone? I want to ask her about her Department of Health and Human Services. Can somebody please get the Democratic Party slave masters on the telephone? Because I'm trying to understand why the United States government allows child protective services and the foster care system to turn our daughters onto the streets between the ages of 16 and 18 with no resources. You know why they don't have no resources for them after they leave? Because they want to make sure, they're going to make sure they end up in the child sex market. I'm telling you, the federal government is complicit. The federal government is complicit. The federal government is complicit. Why would you turn a 16, 17, 18-year-old girl onto the streets from foster care with no home, no job, no shelter, no food? You're forcing her to be a prostitute. You're forcing her into the child sex market. And what is Black America doing about this? Absolutely nothing. If you are listening to DR.UMAR right now in Omaha, Nebraska, if you are listening to DR.UMAR right now in Omaha, Nebraska, If you are listening to Dr.UMAR Ifatunde Oguntade right now in Omaha, Nebraska, if you ever need me to come and speak to your girls, a group of girls, on this issue of child sex trafficking, if you ever need me to come speak at your church, your community center, your Girls' Rites of Passage program, your camp for young women, if you ever need my services as a certified school psychologist, as a doctor of clinical psychology, to come and speak to the women in your program, the girls in your program, your halfway house. You run a recovery program for girls or black women. If you need me to come and provide them with a motivational word, please reach out to your brother. Please reach out. If I can help you save our girls. Y'all think I only care about the boys, but I care about the girls also. Y'all think I only care about the boys, but I care about the girls also. Y'all think I only care about the boys, but I care about the girls also. You can reach out to me. Text message 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. Let's continue. Black women are 40% of adult victims. Let me say this to all black women out there. I know you want a husband. I know you want a husband. Black women, are you listening? I know you want a husband. I know you want a husband, but guess what? Online dating is the #1 recruiting tactic of sex traffickers of adult black women. Online dating sites. I hope y'all listening. I hope y'all listening. Black women, you cannot afford to date online. Let me say that again. Black women cannot afford to date online. That includes TikTok, that includes Snapchat, that includes Facebook, that includes Instagram, that includes Twitter. You cannot afford. The child sex traffickers operate tens of thousands of social media profiles and dating app profiles. The sexual traffickers are operating tens of thousands of social media profiles and dating app profiles. That's why we're going to have the Conscious Singles Convention. That's why I'm going to host the Conscious Singles Convention. That's why I'm going to host the Conscious Singles Convention, because we need a safe space for healthy black people to meet each other. And let me say this to every black man. Black man, if you're not conscious, you can't come. Let me tell you who's not allowed at the Conscious Singles Convention. If you don't identify as African, you are not allowed at the Conscious Singles Convention. If you have a problem being called an African, you are not allowed. I love my Hebrew brothers, but if any of them got a problem being called African, they not allowed. I love my gods and earth brothers, but if any of them got a problem being called African, they not allowed. I love my Nation of Islam brothers, my gods and earths, my Nawapians. I love them all. But if you got a problem being called an African, you are not allowed at the Conscious Singles Convention. Pretendians, you are not allowed because you are not an African. All pretendians, please be aware, you are not allowed at any FDMG event because you are not an African. And for those of you who are conscious, those of you who are conscious and coming to the Conscious Singles Convention, you must show driver's license. You're not coming in there meeting none of my black sisters, and I don't know where you sleep at. I'm telling you right now. When you show up, you will fill out an application which includes a picture of your license. When you show up, you will fill out an application which includes a picture of your license. Conscious Singles Convention will be trafficker free. There will be no sex traffickers at the Conscious Singles Convention. I'm telling you now, black man. I'm telling you now, black man. I'm telling you now, black man. Now, Black women, no more online dating. Black women, no more online dating. Black women, no more online dating. Listen to this. 86% of the girls under the Department of Human Services will be sexually trafficked. 86% of the girls in DHS will be sexually trafficked. 60% of girls under juvenile supervision will be trafficked. Do you know what that means? That means foster care and juvie care are child sex trafficking operations. Foster care is designed to feed the sex trafficking market. Juvenile detention is designed to feed the child sex trafficking market. Foster care is designed to feed the child sex trafficking market. Y'all already know one of the reasons Joe Biden won't close the borders. Y'all already know one of the reasons President Joe Biden won't close the borders is they're using migrants to replace Africans. We all know this, right? They're using migrants to replace Africans. But guess what the other reason is why they won't close the border? You want to know the other reason why they won't close the border? Because the sex traffickers need more bodies. So they're letting the migrants in and they're letting the children in without their parents. Remember, we had that big situation when Trump was in office. They were taking the children, but not allowing the parents into the country. Remember that? They were taking the migrant children, but not letting the parents into America. That was for sex trafficking purposes. That was for sex trafficking purposes. And let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. If you still think that white people are going to Africa and Haiti to adopt black kids because they love them, something's wrong with you. If you still think white people are going to Africa and Haiti to adopt black kids because they love them, something is wrong with you. If you still think white people are going to Africa and Haiti to adopt black children because they love them, then you are out of your mind. That is for child sex trafficking, international adoptions, child sex trafficking, brothers and sisters. International adoptions are nothing but child sex trafficking operations, brothers and sisters. Foster kids are 10 times as likely to be trafficked. Foster kids are 10 times as likely to be trafficked. A black girl without her father involved in her life, 10 times more likely to be trafficked. A black girl without her father in her life, 10 times as likely to be trafficked. Black mothers going to jail breaks up the family, sends the daughters into the foster care system where they get molested, raped, kicked out between 16 and 18, and then they are forced to prostitute themselves or enter the child sex trafficking market. We got to stop our black mothers from going to jail. Black women, you can't afford to break no law. Black women, you can't afford to break no law. Your daughters will be sold into the sex market. Black women, you cannot afford to break no laws. The foster care system will introduce your daughter into the sex trafficking market. And y'all wonder why I said black women need to consider polygyny. And y'all wonder why DR.UMAR said black women need to consider polygyny. And y'all wonder why Dr.UMAR says the black woman needs to consider polygyny. We need men in these families. We need men with these women. We need healthy, non-pedophile men involved in the lives of these girls. We're losing our community because y'all don't want to create systems that will solve the problem. You're still trying to live a European fantasy in a racist society. You cannot live a European fantasy in a racist society. And you know what's funny? Sex trafficking still has a white girl's face on it. Why does sex trafficking have a white girl's face on it when black girls are more likely to be trafficked? Why does sex trafficking still have a white woman's face when black women are 40%? Black women are the most disproportionately represented group among the victims of sex trafficking. Why does sex trafficking still have a white girl's face on it? You know why? They don't care about black women. 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 You know who else we got to look out for? Our disabled black daughters. Lord have mercy. Our disabled black daughters, our mentally and physically disabled black girls, I'm very concerned about them. Our mentally and physically disabled black girls, I'm very concerned about them. Our mentally and physically disabled black women, I'm very concerned about them. Our mentally and physically disabled black women, I'm very concerned about them. If your daughter is intellectually disabled, if your daughter is autistic, Down syndrome, developmental delay, schizophrenic, serious mental illness, we got to look out for them because they traffic them too, because they can't run away. They don't know how to run away. They can't speak up for themselves. We have to make sure we are looking out for our disabled black women and disabled black girls, y'all. They don't have nobody looking out for them. Where is Oprah Winfrey at with the home for the mentally and physically disabled black girls and women? Where is Oprah Winfrey at with the home for the mentally and physically disabled black girls and women? Where is Sister Oprah Winfrey with the home for the mentally and physically disabled black girls and women? Where is Serena Williams? Serena, give that snow puppy a break and build a home for disabled black women and girls. Serena, leave that snow puppy alone and go build a home for mentally and physically disabled black girls and black women. Why the black church isn't doing more about sexual trafficking? Why isn't the black church doing more about sexual trafficking? Why are black parents letting their daughters date men 10 years older than them? Why are black parents letting black girls date men 10 years older than them? He's not her boyfriend. He's her sex trafficker. She just don't know it yet. He's not your daughter's boyfriend. He's your daughter's sexual trafficker. She just don't know it yet. That 25-year-old dating that 15-year-old, he's not her boyfriend. He's her sex trafficker. She just don't know it yet. Black women, y'all got to stop vacationing alone. I know y'all like your girls trip. I know black women like to take their girls trip. I understand. Y'all want to go and get your freak on in an unknown place so nobody know that you was riding an anonymous Shango stick. I understand, ladies. Sometimes you just want to go get your freak on. I understand. You want to go to the Cayman Islands. You want to go to all these different islands. And you want to go get your freak on. You want to take a girl's trip to the Caribbean, the girls' cruise to the Caribbean. You want to get your freak on. You want to give up that honey bun. I understand that old crusty, dried up honey bun. I understand. You want to ride them Shango sticks, them anonymous Shango sticks. Don't ask, don't tell. But black women, you got to be careful. Black women, you got to be careful. Black women, the girls' trip, y'all got to be careful. If you're going to go on the girls' trip, Take the Shango stick with you. Do not meet an unidentified Shango stick on a Caribbean island somewhere, South American island somewhere. Don't do it, black woman. Listen to me. Y'all got to practice safe sex, ladies. If you taking a girl's trip to go get your freak on anonymously, if you taking a girl's trip to go get your freak on anonymously, I strongly suggest you take the Shango stick with you. Don't go to one of these islands and think you're going to find you an anonymous Shango stick and you just going to have some fun and get back home to America. He might have other plans for you. He might have other plans for you. He might have other plans for you. These sex traffickers are very slick. These sexual traffickers are very slick. And guess what, ladies? Some of them might look like the man of your dreams. Uh-oh. 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 You mean to tell me the man of your dreams is the same man who's going to try to sell you into the sex trafficking market? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Ladies, take the Shango stick with you. Take it with you. Don't be going to these islands meeting random men you don't know. Talking about he look good. Okay, he look good, all right. Ladies thirsty for money. You mean to tell me the man got some money? You going to go to his hotel room? One night stand. He said, he go 50 grand. Just come to my hotel room. One night stand. I'm having a private party. Me and my homies having a private party on the boat. Why don't you and your girlfriends come get on the boat? Y'all get on the boat and y'all say, when we going back to the island? Y'all not going back to the island. Y'all going to the larger slave ship where they've been holding all the sex trafficked black women out in the middle of the ocean. Go ahead and keep going on that girl's trip if you want. You better keep that old crusty honey bun to yourself. You better keep that loosey-goosey to yourself. Go ahead and get your cookies crushed if you want. Oh, he gonna crush your cookies. He gonna crush your cookies. And after he crush your cookies, he gonna traffic your ass. I need black women to be more careful. I love my sisters. I need black women to be more careful. I love my sisters. I need black women to be more careful. I love my sisters. I need black women to be more careful. I love my sisters. I just got one more thing to say. Can somebody tell me why Joe Biden isn't doing more about the sexual trafficking of black girls and women? Can Kamala Harris please explain why the White House isn't doing more about the sexual trafficking of black girls and women? As we prepare to close this out, I got a question to ask. This is your big brother King Kong Consciousness, live and direct, Omaha, Nebraska. Join me today. Doors open up at 3 o'clock at 4224 24th Street in Omaha, Nebraska. Today, Saturday, December the 2nd, 4224 24th Street, Omaha, Nebraska. Doors open up at 3. King Kong hits. Peace, King. I'm well. Give me like 15 minutes. I'm about to finish this live up I'm doing, and I'm going to dial you right back. Okay, I got you. Time to get ready for Omaha. With my Omaha. We got any Omaha, Nebraska Africans on the live? We got any Omaha? We got any Nebraska? We got any Minnesota Africans driving down today? We got any North Dakota, South Dakota Africans making their way to Omaha this afternoon? But here's my question for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Kansas City tomorrow. Kansas City, Kansas, GEM Theater, 1615 18th Street. Kansas City, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri. Pull up. But here's what I want to say. Baba, let me call you right back. I'm finishing up this live. I got 10 minutes. Got you. Omaha, looking for the prince. Omaha, we here. Can somebody tell me why Kamala Harris and Joe Biden is all in Africa trying to make Africa safe for the rainbow? Can somebody explain to me why Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is all in Africa trying to make Africa safe for the rainbow, but you can't make America safe for black girls? You in Africa making Africa safe for the rainbow, but you can't make America safe for black girls? Can somebody help me understand while Joe Biden is in Africa, he's not doing anything about the pedophile beaches in Africa, about the pedophile beaches in the Caribbean, the pedophile beaches in South America, the pedophile beaches in Central America? Oh, we ain't even talk about pedophile beach. We haven't even touched on pedophile beach. Do y'all know what pedophile beach is, brothers and sisters? Have you ever heard of pedophile beach? These are beaches in Africa, beaches in the Caribbean, beaches in Central and South America, where white men and women go on vacation and molest our children without any fear of being arrested for pedophilia. I'm going to say it again. I saw it in Ghana. It made my stomach sick. I saw it in Senegal. It made my stomach sick. I saw it in Malawi. It made my stomach sick. I saw it in Gambia. It made my stomach sick. I saw it in Kenya. It made my stomach sick. White men and women come to Africa. They come to the Caribbean, Central and South America, because they won't get in trouble. They will not get arrested. They will not get arrested for molesting underage black children in black countries. It's called white privilege, white sex privilege, white pedophile sex privilege. There is a white pedophile sex privilege in Africa, the Caribbean, in Central and South America. If you don't believe me, when you go to Africa, please go to the beach. Go to the beach and look at all the crusty Neanderthals swimming with our kids. Swimming with our children in the pools, swimming with our children. And then they go molest them. Pedophile beaches all throughout Africa. Joe Biden won't say nothing about that, though. He's worrying about LG, but he ain't worrying about PE. He's worrying about LG, but he ain't worrying about PE. You trying to make Africa safe for the rainbow. How about make Africa safe for African children so they don't have to be molested by white people from America, white people from France and Germany and Britain? What about that fight, Biden? Like I said, if you ever need me to come speak to your girls, if you ever need me to come speak to your girls, if you ever need me to come to your halfway house, your juvenile detention center, if you ever need me to come to your prison, black women have it hard and black girls have it harder. I said black women have it hard and black girls have it harder. I said black women have it hard and black girls have it harder. And let me say this. I want to say something to the radical black feminists one time. I want to say something to the radical black feminists one time. Can I speak to the radical black feminists one time? May I speak to the radical black feminists one time? Radical black feminists, you are doing black women a disservice when you keep talking about how much y'all don't need black men. Radical black feminists, you are doing black women a disservice when you keep talking about how much black women don't need black men. Y'all need us and we need y'all. Y'all need us. Our girls are being raped, molested, kidnapped, killed, sold into sex trafficking. What do you mean you don't need a black man? What in the hell do you mean you don't need a black man, radical black feminists? What do you mean you don't need a black man? Our boys are dropping out of school. They not going to school. They being put in special ed, psychiatric medication, juvenile incarceration, adult incarceration. Our children are homeless. They running away from home. Your boyfriends is raping them and molesting them and beating them up. What do you mean you don't need a black man? Black women most definitely need black men. Black girls most definitely need black men. And when you radical black feminists keep running around out here, when you radical black feminists keep running around out here talking about how much you don't need black men, the pedophiles are smiling at you. The pedophiles are smiling. The child sex traffickers are smiling. The police are laughing. The prison system is laughing. The white feminists are laughing at you. They laughing at you. Black women, the most vulnerable population in America. What the hell you mean you don't need your men? This is your big brother King Kong Consciousness, Dr.UMAR Ifatunde, coming to you live and direct from Omaha, Nebraska. It's going down today. My second visit, first in 8 years, first since Black History Month of 2016. Join me, 4224 24th Street. Doors open up at 3 in Omaha, Nebraska. Black Parent Advocate book signing and photo session to follow the lecture. Black Parent Advocate book signing and photo session to follow the lecture. Black Parent Advocate book signing and photo session. The books are $50. Apple Pay, Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, credit card or cash. Kansas City, Kansas, tomorrow. GEM Theater, 1615 18th Street. Lecture followed by Q&A, followed by Black Parent Advocate book signing and photo session. This is your boy King Kong. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Make sure you're donating to the right link. Go to my website, DrUmarJohnson.com. Make sure you're linking to the right link or text me for the link. 215-989-9858. Text me for the Omaha flyer, 215-989-9858. Text me for the Kansas City flyer, 215-989-9858. This is your big brother. Black women, I love you. I love my butter almond queens. I love my fudge queens, my African vanilla queens, my pina colada queens, my sweet brown sugar queens, my deep dark cinnamon queens, my nutmeg queens, my warm peanut butter queens. I love me some black women. It is black queens forever. Snow bunnies is never. I said it is black queens forever. Snow bunnies is never. I said it is black queens forever. Snow bunnies is never. This is your big brother King Kong. Peace and Pan-Africanism.